Good morning, everyone. This is Commissioner Olson. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024, and we'll call the meeting to order at 8 o'clock a.m. As a reminder, our call-in number is 1-971-254-3149, conference ID 866-914-607#. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone to mute your phone. You can do this by pressing *6. Please unmute yourself when called to speak, again pressing *6. It's very important for all others to remain muted. Thank you. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. We'll call our meeting to order, and we'll do the commissioner's roll call. I know Commissioner Scar is here because I talked to her, and Commissioner Bell is out of the office. Commissioner Scar, you are here online, correct?
I am. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, we'll start right off with Adventist Health. Eric, are you with us this morning?
I am. Good morning, Commissioner.
Morning.
We have 10 patients in the hospital today, 9 surgery cases scheduled. Our ambulance crews had a busy day yesterday, 9 911 transports, 1 transfer, 1 transport home. 103 patients boarding in emergency departments across Oregon, that's 6 more than yesterday. 361 patients who are ready to be discharged but have no place to go across Oregon, that's 8 less than yesterday. Just want to share with you some kind of exciting news out of Becker's Hospital Review. And Becker's Hospital Review is the leading hospital magazine for hospital business news. And they recently shared in one of their issues, they named the 27 critical access hospitals to know in 2024, and Adventist Health Tillamook is one of those 27. And we're actually the only critical access hospital in Oregon that was recognized by Becker's, and they cited information about our recently purchased neonatal ICU telehealth robot, which helps bridge the gap in access to specialized neonatal care for newborns. They talked about our philanthropic contributions, and that the Loan Institute recognized us, giving us an A grade for social responsibility in areas of health equity, value of care, patient satisfaction, community benefit, cost efficiency, and avoiding overuse. They also recognized Adventist Health as a company and put us on a list of 150 top places to work in healthcare. And they, in this one, they said that we really focus on providing our team members with benefits that emphasize whole person focus on physical, mental, spiritual, and social well-being, and then talked about our benefit packages and low turnover rate. So we were pleased to be recognized by Becker's this month. And unless you've got questions, that's all I've got for you this morning.
Well, thank you, Eric. Indeed, that sounds like quite an honor. And as a former member of your board, I guess I would say I'm not entirely surprised. What I saw over there over the years with a group of very dedicated, knowledgeable people, and for a small hospital, you really stand out. Let me ask, are there, you said there were no others in Oregon. Did I hear that correctly, or did I mishear that?
No, that is correct, Commissioner. There were no other critical access hospitals on the list from the state of Oregon or Washington, and there were 2 identified in California. One of which was an Adventist Health Hospital. Well,
that was my other question. If anything else in the Adventist system was awarded, so it sounds like those are good things. My goodness, that's quite an honor.
It is.
Anything else?
And I just wanted to share that with everybody this morning. I thought it was great news. So.
Yes. Well, let me ask one quick question before you leave. Any news at all on the dialysis situation?
No, unfortunately, no. I still have one entity that has not told me no, and they're doing their due diligence to see if they could make it work here. They're a private nonprofit company, and so we continue to work and pray that we find the right fit, because it's definitely a need in our community, and I just wish it was easy, and unfortunately, it is not.
Well, thank you for your efforts, Eric, and I know you and others are working hard to solve that issue, but Can't see around a corner, so we don't know where it'll go. But again, thanks for all you do, and tell the people in the hospital, and I'm sure you'll get the word out. I think the people in Tillamook County appreciate our hospital probably more than you know. So thank you
Appreciate
again.
that. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner.
You're very welcome. Okay, let's go to the Coastal Caucus. Senator Weber, I think I saw her number here. Are you with us this morning?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, go ahead, Senator.
Oh, good. Good. I thought, did I push the wrong button or something? Well, it's good to see the sunshine a little bit today. I was in Vernonia yesterday, and I think it rained on me 6 times before I got there. I had the pleasure of going and talking with the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts over there and the Cub Scouts to tell them a little bit about government and what I think that they need to start thinking about, because, you know, they're the next generation that's going to be leading us. And it was really fun getting to talk with them and hear some of their questions. So that was a real perk for the job, is to hear that young people had very serious questions about government and how government operates. I just wanted to alert you to a couple of things. The Coastal Caucus right now is working on an Oregon Coast Summit, economic summit at Chinook Winds on the 8th of May. And you'll be getting more information on that. We haven't been able to do that for several years because of COVID, but now we are working towards promoting that economic growth on the coast especially. And so put that on your calendars. You know, Chinook Winds Conference Center, May 8th. I think you need to register for it, but more information will be coming on that. Today I get to go to Seaside for some appointments to meet with folks and hear about their concerns. And tomorrow I'm going to go to Banks, and I've got a full schedule both this afternoon and tomorrow. And I am hearing from people with some very interesting concerns. And I'm making note of all of them, because this is the time when I look especially for bill ideas going forward, and to see what it is that we need to be able to impact us more favorably. We were in, Representative Javity and I were in Astoria last week, and I am pleased to tell you that one of the people in the audience that we were speaking with listens to this program every Tuesday morning, and I want to tell him good morning and thanked the county for being able to do this because of the information that he learns from this meeting every Tuesday. So you're reaching out, you're going far and wide. So thank you for that. I'm also meeting with a lot of constituents that have some difficulties, especially with paid family leave and unemployment, and a whole variety of other issues, and we're working toward resolution on all of these things. Some of them are kind of hard, and some of them are not so hard. It just takes knowing the proper channels to be able to get some of these things done. Another thing I want to alert you to is that the Oregon ODFW is going to be in Tillamook this week, April 18th and 19th. And they're going to be touring some of the projects in the area. And on Friday, they're going to have a meeting at Port of Tillamook Bay in the mess hall. And the agenda is going to be coming out on Wednesday, but from what I understand, some important things are going to be on that agenda that they're going to be talking about, like salmon seasons and clam harvests and halibut seasons and the private forest accord. And of course, there will be many other things, but they are also going to be taking testimony And so if there is something that you feel important about and that they should know about, the sign-in will be at the meeting. But like I said, that is on Friday morning at 8 o'clock. Friday morning at 8 o'clock is one of my task force meetings, and so I will not be able to be there, but I am confident that Tillamook will be represented there. Our access to ODFW is important, and we need to take advantage of that. I also wanted to tell you that there's another important event. Last week we honored the fire department, and they had their banquet, and I want to congratulate all of the winners of the awards, which were several, and I'm sure they will be in the Headlight Herald. And this week we are having the Education Foundation dinner on Saturday. The Education Foundation for Tillamook Schools does really wonderful work in scholarship administration and additional support for teachers and the projects that they have in their classrooms. So I want to give a special shout out to them. Last Saturday, there was an event at TBCC, which was very well attended, and I was really impressed at the number of people that were there and the information that was available. And so I want to thank TBCC for that also. I know there are other things that are coming, but I think I've taken enough of your time. And so thank you once again for doing this. Oh, one other thing I wanted to tell you is that Senator Merkley's office is also working on the dialysis question. And so I've had conversations with his office on that. And as Eric said, there's no resolution yet, but we're going to continue to work on it. So thank you, Senator Merkley, for putting forth the effort and assigning your staff to work on this. And that's all I have to say today. Once again, thank you.
Well, thank you, Senator Weber. And I remember the economic summits. I've been to nearly all of them. I believe they were started some years ago by Senator Roblin, and he moved it around from one of the casinos to another and up and down the coast. And I found not only was it a worthwhile meeting, lots of exchange of ideas, but it also was a really good excuse to go to the casino for a couple hours. So I'm glad to hear that that's up again. Let me ask others, are there any questions for the senator? Go ahead, Senator, you were going to say something else.
I was just going to say that while I was mayor, I attended several of those economic summits also, and I found them invaluable. The connections you made, what you learned about the area, and the resources that can be available to you. So it is an important vehicle for promoting economic growth on the coast.
I would certainly agree with that, and I'm very pleased to hear that they're coming back on the agenda again. That's a good thing. And I remember the attendance was in excess of 100 people from all over, and you're right. Yeah, boy, you could walk down the hall and have a very productive conversation with someone. So glad to hear that's back. Questions for the senator? Well, I don't hear any, so thank you again, Senator, for your usual updates. Very appreciated. And I'll go to Representative Javity. Are you with us this morning?
Good morning, Commissioner. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. I have a quick update today. I've received a lot of emails and phone calls this last week about the unemployment office. They've recently upgraded to a new software system, and it is causing widespread mass delays for people getting their unemployment benefits. If you're having any trouble getting your benefits, please feel free to email or call my office, and we will get in touch with the unemployment office to have them shine a light on your specific case. So I don't know an update when that will be more smooth. in operations, but they have said in reply, as we've talked to them, that it's due to the upgrade plus a lack of personnel. So know that it's not just you. If you're having that frustrating experience where you want to know where your unemployment benefits are, it's everybody, but I'm happy to help however we can. An update, I don't know if I brought this up last week, the post office in Gearhart is potentially closing. I know we have some listeners up in Clatsop County that are very concerned about the fate of their post office. Last week I spoke again. We've been working on this diligently for 2 weeks now, and last week I spoke with an update from Senator Merkley's office. They're hoping to have a temporary contract in place by the end of the month, and there'll be more updates to come about that. But so far it sounds encouraging. We know how important it is to the community to have access to a local post office for all sorts of reasons. I also had some discussions last week with Representative Reynolds, who is a Democrat from over in the Valley about, and she's also a pediatrician, but she's planning to bring a bill back next session that would ban all types of flavored tobacco products and nicotine products in Oregon, both for adults and youth, although the intent of the bill is aimed at getting tobacco and nicotine products out of the hands of our youth. And we discussed ways to possibly not have that impact adults who may want to continue using those products. So that's something that came up last session. That was something that many members of our districts, both in Clatsop and Tillamook County, did not like, and thought it was too broad. So we're trying to narrow that bill. More info to come as that progresses. And lastly, big, in the news, a big topic in the last week has been Governor Kotex. Lost some staff, as well as looking to create a role for the first lady, first partner, and there are some concerns about what are the ethical implications of that. Not wearing a partisan hat, I think she's trying to do a good job of threading the needle there and doing things right to set this office up. The legislature is definitely aware of the issue and monitoring closely to make sure that there's no conflicts of interest and that things are done appropriately. So I'm not passing judgment on whether or not that's okay. I think that a lot of legislators, including myself, do employ their spouses in some role to help, balance the responsibilities of being a part-time legislator as well as working back in the district. And so this is definitely not abnormal, but the news does seem to be making a big deal of it, and we'll continue to see how and what comes of that. Other than that, that is the only updates I have for this week. I think Senator Weber covered the bulk of everything, and not wanting to duplicate what she said, I think I'll end it there.
Well, thank you, Representative. I appreciate your remarks on the post office. Of course, that's a federal issue, but I remember down south county in my way, there was closure some years ago, both in Beaver and also in Nescoin. And that's a big deal to a small community to lose your postal service, even though there might be deliveries, but to be able to go in and buy stamps and mail things and all of that is kind of a big deal in a small town. So I appreciate what you're doing there. Are there any questions anywhere for Representative Javidi? Well, I don't hear any, so we'll move along, and thank you again, Representative. We'll talk with you next week. Let's go to the Tillamook County Community Health Center, Ed or Marlene or someone over there.
Commissioner Olson, this is Commissioner Scar, and unfortunately, neither Ed are able to be with us today, but I do have their report.
Go right ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. So coming from our public health department, want to let everybody know that April is Autism Acceptance Month, which honors the contributions of people on the autism spectrum and the autism community to our nation and the world. Communities and organizations across the nation join together to support the needs of people on the autism spectrum and their families. Tillamook County Community Health Centers acknowledges the need to support, understand, accept, include, and empower people on the autism spectrum in our workplace, the community, and beyond. This month, we encourage all to stand for a world where autistic people are recognized and have the opportunities they deserve. Join the Act Fearlessly movement by Autism Speaks by visiting www.autismspeaks.org. There's an upcoming event that I want to give everybody a heads up on this Friday, April 19th. Please join us between 3 and 5 p.m. for the ribbon cutting and grand opening of our new Public Health Services building. This now county-owned and renovated building is home to important programs, including environmental health, women, infants, and children, known as WIC, public health home visiting nurses, community health workers, and other current public health programs. The ribbon cutting will take place at 3:15 p.m., followed by building tours, refreshments, and sweet treats. All are welcome to attend. The new Public Health Services building is located at 2111 8th Street, adjacent to the Tillamook County Community Health Center's downtown clinic. I don't know if just the public is aware, but the Board of Commissioners are the public health authority for Tillamook County. And we really saw this come to light during the pandemic as we were responsible for the full public health response to COVID-19 in our community. So this is actually a pretty big deal that we have been able to provide this dedicated space for public health with the more room that they need to do the job that they do. And just the awareness that as a county, we are responsible for this work. But as with much of the work we are responsible for, it is mandated by the state of Oregon. I think that sometimes there's confusion as to why the county has these rules that we have, and I'm going to use food safety as a great example for that. Food safety is something that we at the county do through specifically our public health department, but all of the rules that are underlying that food safety actually come from the state of Oregon, and we don't have the chance to change them. We don't have the chance to debate them, but we are responsible by statute to enforce them. So public health has a lot of different aspects to it. Certainly the pieces that support families and children are a huge part of it, but it also includes, as I said, the environmental health and other pieces. So stop by, say hello to everybody, let them know you appreciate the work that they do to keep our community healthy. With that, I will turn it back to you.
Thank you, Commissioner Scar. Good report. All right, how about Nehalem Bay Health Center up north? Anyone online from
Yes,
Nehalem?
good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for all of the announcements so far this morning, and I do appreciate that. I have one announcement myself from the Nehalem Bay Health Center and Pharmacy in Wheeler. Many of you know we have installed a secure automated prescription pickup locker, so folks can pick up their prescriptions without necessarily a visit to the pharmacy. The locker is located in our lobby, and we know this technology may be new to some, so our pharmacy team is planning a demonstration to walk through how it works. This will be on Monday, May 9th at noon, and attendees will receive step-by-step instructions on how to use the new system. We also will have one of our bilingual pharmacy team members there to provide information in Spanish to anyone who may need it. So for more information on this event and the pharmacy locker or anything else, our services here at Nehalem Bay Health Center and Pharmacy, please visit our website at nehalembayhealth.org or give us a call, 800-368-5182, and we'll be happy to assist you. And that's it for me this morning, unless there are questions.
Any questions for Nehalem Bay Health Center? I don't hear any, so thank you very much, and we'll look forward to your update next week. Okay, next up, Tillamook Family Counseling Center. Frank Hanna Williams indicated he's not available this morning, so I guess we'll just skip right over him and go directly to the Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Brown or Under Sheriff Kelly, are either of you on this morning? Anybody from the Sheriff's Office? Well, perhaps they're out on a call. One never knows. All right, let's go to Emergency Management. Randy, are you with us this morning?
You bet, Commissioner. I am here today.
Go right ahead.
To start off with, the biggest news is that over the weekend on April 13th, President Joseph R. Biden Jr. declared that a major disaster exists in the state of Oregon, and has ordered federal assistance to supplement state, tribal, and local recovery efforts in the areas affected by severe winter storms, straight line winds, landslides, mudslides, basically from that January 10th through the January 22nd dates on that. And so this federal funding will be available, again, like I say, to the state, tribal individuals, and some eligible local governments, and also some certain nonprofit organizations. This will be, of course, on a cost share basis for emergency work and repairs. So we're moving forward. As soon as we get some more information from the state on the next process on working with FEMA on doing reimbursements, and I will be meeting with those individuals who have done the preliminary damage assessments. The other thing too is that if we do find some additional damages that were occurred during this time frame, we can submit to the state to have those also included within this presidential declaration. So that's good news. So we will be able to start getting some reimbursement back for all the work and efforts that people in the county did during that time. The other item that I have here is that this week is the National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. It's an annual event that honors the essential roles that emergency response coordination professionals play in keeping the nation's community safe and secure. Governor Kotek has also proclaimed that April 14th through the 20th as Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. Basically in Oregon, we have 43 standalone 911 centers. They're basically known as the Public Safety Answering Points, or that famous acronym PSAP. And they're the first and single point of contact for people seeking immediate relief during an emergency. So as you interact with our 911 dispatchers and this week, please extend to them the gratefulness that we have for the wonderful work that they do here within Tillamook County, and the long hours they put in, the training that they go through, and how they, like I say, they're our first line people who take those calls from us and get us the help that we need. So like I say, just as you see those individuals throughout the community this week, just thank them for all the work that they do. And that's all I have for today, Commissioners. So I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Randy. I have a question. Do you know about how many dollars are coming back to Tillamook County, either for reimbursement or through the declaration, the federal declaration?
I'm guessing that the preliminary damages that we did.
Well, you dropped off, Randy. Check. Okay, now here you go ahead. Asking about dollars for Tillamook County, if you have a number.
From our preliminary estimates, it was right around between 500,000 and about 700,000. Majority of that was with our public utility district, and they have their own special people that work with them with getting reimbursement on that. I know that the governor did ask for a little bit more relief and a higher matching, but I'm not sure if that flew through or if it's going to be the typical 25% matching that that we will have to come up with that. So it wasn't as big a damage as our previous winter storm, but at least, like I say, we'll be able to start getting some of that FEMA reimbursement over the next few years. I'm sure it won't be immediate, but at least we were able to jump that hurdle and get a presidential declaration on this.
Well, thank you, Randy. That's good to hear. And like you say, it's money coming back into the county, money we put up during the emergency to keep things going. And I know Tillamook PUD had considerable damage, more than the county system, I think, in this case. But I think every listener would know Tillamook County has among the largest number of damage claims and suffers more than just about any other location in Oregon when we have our annual storms and flooding events and so on. And I guess that goes with having 9 major rivers running through Tillamook County. So thank you, Randy, and we'll talk
bet.
with you later.
You
Well,
bet.
before we go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I just said thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Before we go to the Board of Commissioners, I want to go back and ask the Sheriff's Office if anybody's online yet. We didn't hear from them this morning, and we ordinarily do. Anyone at the Sheriff's Office? Well, maybe they're out on a call or who knows what. So let's go down Board of Commissioners. I know Commissioner Scar is here because she's already chimed in. So Commissioner, please.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So I had the opportunity yesterday to spend the day over in Polk County with the other 8 counties who are part of our House Bill 4123 pilot project, which is the project we received $1 million for to set up our coordinated homeless services office. And it was just really interesting to see what we're doing here and what the other 7 counties are doing. But what was, I think, what was a universal thing across the board is that we are seeing more and more the state expecting a role for county and city government in how we address those who are experiencing houselessness. So I'm very pleased that as Tillamook County, we were able to get in the early stages to get this money to help us build the structure that we need to be prepared to do that work. So for those who may not remember, I haven't talked about it for a while, but the House Bill 4123 project was a combined application to the state with our 7 incorporated cities, the county, and CARE. And the work that we have done with that is to build a local structure that we use as we are designing our system for those experiencing houselessness. And the piece that's really crucial, I think, about that is that because the state is expecting more participation from counties under the governor's emergency order last year, they looked for local planning groups across counties that were ready to receive money to begin to address houselessness. And we were one of those counties because we already had the House Bill 4123 money, which allowed us to set up a structure, which allowed us to receive additional funding. So right now we're sitting at about $2.25 million into Tillamook County to address those who are experiencing houselessness. So it's been a real boon for us. And I wanted to kind of tie that piece to the housing piece, because I think, I've seen quite a few comments online and people asking, what is the cost of housing? How are we doing this? And it's an important bridge between this fund for those who are experiencing houselessness and housing, because a great deal of the money that is coming from the state is specifically for rehousing. The purpose is to use the best practice model from across the nation, which is called Housing First, in which you take individuals who are experiencing houselessness and you help them get into permanent housing. Shelters are an important bridge, and particularly right now in Oregon, they are an important bridge because we have a shortage of housing. But the system itself would ideally move people into housing quickly. The longer people spend in shelter, the harder it is for them to get into housing. So it's an important piece. And so I wanted to jump quickly to say that in Tillamook County, we have seen an increasing median income since the pandemic, and a pretty significantly increasing median income. I was looking at some of the data from our Oregon Employment Department, and it was just interesting to me that the average advertised wage in December of 20 was about $16 for jobs across Tillamook County. And the average advertised wage for jobs in Tillamook County in December of 23, so 3 years apart, had jumped up to $23 an hour. So we are seeing an increase in wages in Tillamook County. And I know there's been concern in some folks that we are building affordable housing, and how will that increase in wages fit into the affordable housing picture? And I'm pleased to share that the actual 2024 median income in Tillamook County at 100% of median income is $80,000. So we have seen that increase, and that's for a family of 4. So that assumes 2 wage earners that are making somewhere around $40,000 each. So when we start talking about affordable housing, the income limit, I know it's a lot of numbers and I apologize for that. But I think it's important because I've had a lot of questions lately. So for affordable housing, you can be at 60% of that area median, which is one person earning $34,000 or $16.36 an hour. So if you are working a minimum wage job, perhaps with a little bit of tips, you can still fit into that affordable housing piece of what we're doing. So a lot of the folks that we know who are experiencing houselessness, to circle back to where we started, are people who have lost their housing, who are living in a vehicle, who are working, who are struggling to get into housing. So as we look at this funding that we have received, which is intended to help people get into housing, it's really important that we're building housing that fits the income that they're in. So there are also folks who are above that 60%, and I hear that often. People make too much money, they can't get into affordable. And so we are also working on 80 to 120% of area median income housing, and that will house that next level. And there are a number of units that are currently under construction and should come online shortly. So it just tying that whole picture together. When you think about those who are experiencing houselessness, many of them are working, many of them are in our minimum wage or slightly above jobs, and the housing we are building is housing that is affordable to them. So just a quick snapshot of the whole picture. If you have other questions, please don't hesitate to ask. There's been quite a bit, as I said, Facebook conversation. So I like to try to just put information out there as I can. Okay, couple of other things that I wanted to bring up. I know that Senator Weber talked about this coming Saturday. We have the Education Foundation dinner, which is wonderful. We also have Bounty on the Bay for the Tillamook Estuary Partnership. And I believe that there may still be tickets for that. You can go online and take a look, but it will take place at Pacific Restaurant on Saturday from 4 to 5. There's some information about the great work that Tillamook Estuaries Partnership does. And then there is a dinner and auction and all the good fun that you can have raising money for that cause. So that's where I will be on Saturday night. Would love to see as many of you there as possible. I would also just give you a little advance warning that the Coastal Conservation Association, which is a group that supports our fish production and healthy waterways, has their banquet next weekend, which is Saturday, I'm going to get it wrong because I'm not looking at my calendar, the 27th is Saturday. So they have their banquet and tickets are still available for that one as well. No shortage of places to go and things to do to support good causes in our community. With that, Commissioner Olson, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Are there any questions for Commissioner Scar? Well, I don't see any or hear any, so I'll mention just a couple of things quickly. This is budget season, and we're all spending a considerable amount of time going through the county budget, and the general fund, which is the part of the budget over which there is some discretion, is short somewhere between $4 and $5 million. And that's a pretty big number out of a little over $30 million budget, the general fund portion. So before it's all said and done, and it will be said and done by July 1, because we have to balance the budget at that point, there may be some issues that get pushed into the community, and some disappointed people or something is going to have to go, because there's only 2 or 3 ways you can balance a budget. One is to increase revenue, the other is to decrease expenditures, and the third is to do a combination. And so we're hard at it, and it's a little more difficult this year for any number of reasons, but more to come on that. So just let you know that the staff and others are working on that one. I think was mentioned before, another item, we have a new parks director coming on, and Commissioner Bell, who is not with us this morning, has been running the parks department since I think October. There is a new director who's been hired and is on his way from out of state, and I believe will be starting sometime in mid-May. So a lot more to come on that one. We'll switch over to Tillamook Lightwave, which is a broadband provider throughout Tillamook County. we're discussing with both the college and Colpac, which is an economic development agency across the Northwest Oregon, if they would like to become part of that group. So more to come on that. We have a meeting later this week to talk about some of the technical matters and legal matters and so on, but we'll keep that one moving as well. We're also in the process of moving forward on improving and changing and actually purchasing an entirely new public safety radio system for the county. And so we're in the process of hiring some additional consultants, some looking at the budget and how that works. And we're pretty far along, actually. There'll probably be a bond issue on the November ballot asking voters to support a new radio public safety system for the county. And when I say public safety, that's basically everything that requires point-to-point communication, meaning the law enforcement, the fire departments, our transportation system, Tillamook PUD, and a variety of others, all related to public safety and so on. So it will cost some money, but the system is over 20 years old, almost 25 in some cases, and is failing in places that it should not fail, and it's absolutely necessary to have communications. And the last thing I'll mention, we also have become aware, the county has become aware of a number of issues across our small utilities, meaning water and sanitary sewer, and in some cases storm sewer. They're having trouble getting enough board members to actually convene a meeting, conduct business. There's been some issues relative to audits not being completed on time. There are questions about long-term water supply and treatment. And so lots of things going on in that area. And why the county is involved, if a system fails for one reason or another, meaning that it can't get enough members to be on the board, or they can't find operators, it defaults over to the county. And I think it's pretty clear the county is not interested in being in the water or sewer business at all. And so we're pulling together a meeting probably over the next 2 to 3 weeks where we'll invite all the utilities in to talk about our common issues and a way forward, which might involve sharing resources, sharing equipment, even sharing staff, or otherwise making sure some of these very small districts have a critical mass to keep going and deliver safe water and take care of the sewer needs. So more to come on that one as well. I'll just put that on the radar. So with that, let's go to the cities, and we'll go up north to Manzanita and see if Mayor Stock is on this morning. Are you with us, Mayor?
I am, Commissioner. Can you hear me okay?
I certainly can. Good morning, and go right ahead.
Terrific. Thanks. I've just got 3 items from Manzanita this morning. First of all, we too are beginning in the early stages of our budget preparation for the next year. And so last week on Wednesday, Council held a workshop where we discussed the capital projects and reviewed, at least got our first view of them, of what priorities might be for the year to come. Secondly, this Thursday from 9 to 10:30, a couple of members of our council will be meeting the community and our public starting at 9 o'clock at a local business in Manzanita called the Offshore Grill. This is the beginning of a Counselor's Corner, regular communications, casual and open to the public for people to come and talk about what's on their mind. So we're looking forward to that. And that is also on our city's website, City of Manzanita website, if anybody would like details about that and timing for future meetings. Lastly, I would repeat that we are still looking for the right excellent person for our Public Works Department. We have an operations manager position open. And with that, I'll turn it over and you can continue to move down south, Commissioner.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor. Good to hear from you this morning. So yes, we will continue on down the Oregon coast. How about Nehalem? Anyone from the city of Nehalem? I don't see anyone, nor do I hear anyone. So let's go to Wheeler. And no one there. So Rockaway Beach. We usually have someone from Rockaway Beach. So who might be online this morning?
Good morning, Tillamook County. Charles McNeely, Mayor of Rockaway Beach. Thank you
Uh,
for this opportunity. This is always a great call.
Thank you, Mayor. Go right ahead.
All right, thank you. So City of Rockaway Beach maintains an interactive GIS land use map accessible on our city website homepage. Our city is adding the following layers: identification of city versus county roads, an updated FEMA flood map, and an updated Tillamook County assessor's link allowing users to access county maintained property information with one click. And then the last update that's coming is we're going to add a layer identifying short-term rentals. Unfortunately, this will take a little bit longer than the other layers, but we've had a request from our community for this, and so we're going to follow through with adding that layer. The city received the wildfire season grant, which will fully fund 2 additional firefighters during the busiest time of year for our fire department. And so kudos to Chief Hesse for, I believe this is the 2nd year in a row we've received this grant. Continuing with our fire department, the Rockaway Beach Fire and Rescue Department partners with Tillamook Bay Community College to provide EMT training. A total of 6 graduates from the program are now serving full-time in Tillamook County's ambulance service. My hat's off to Captain Grace, who runs that program for our Fire and Rescue Department. Continuing with fire, the fire chiefs from each fire district in Tillamook County make up the members of the Tillamook County Fire Defense Board. This board is best known for implementing the burn ban each year, but performs many other countywide functions. Our fire chief, Todd Hesse, is currently serving as chief of the Tillamook County Fire Defense Board. Congratulations, Chief Hesse. ODOT, many of you may be aware of our boardwalk to the Big Tree, just south end of Rockaway Beach. We've had some issues with people getting in and out of the parking lot, so ODOT will be installing no parking signs near the boardwalk entrance to keep parked cars from blocking the sight lines of those entering and exiting the parking lot. Parking along Highway 101 will still be allowed, just not near the entrance to the parking lot. Our city council was busy last week. We declared April 2024 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. We approved a proposal from HBH Consulting Engineers for water and wastewater capital improvement plan updates and a system development charge study. We adopted a 5-year streets capital improvement plan. We opted into the recreational immunity provided by Senate Bill 1576, and a shout out to Mayor Welch for bringing the need for this step to our attention. We authorized the mayor and city manager to execute a contract for South Pacific Street waterline and road surfacing project, and we expressed support for the Rockaway Beach Fire and Rescue Department's grant application to the Office of Resilience and Emergency Management through the Tillamook County Citizens Corps Council. We approved additional awards for our community grant program, authorized an abatement, and a few other things. Our Planning Commission meets Thursday at 5 p.m. in City Hall. There will be a public hearing regarding a variance request, among other business. And then last Thursday at 9 a.m. in the City Hall, 2nd floor conference room, is our monthly coffee with manager and mayor. We are still listening. So with that, back to you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mayor. Excellent report. Okay, on down the coast to Garibaldi. Who might we have this morning from Garibaldi? Well, I don't hear or see anyone from Garibaldi, so let's go on to Bay City.
Yes, good morning, Commissioner. This is City Manager McCall standing in for Mayor Welch. Can you hear me?
Yes, I certainly can. Good morning.
Okay, so I'd just like to give it an update very shortly. First, we also received the firefighter grant for a seasonal firefighter, similar to Rockaway, I think similar to Garibaldi as well. So we're very fortunate to be able to help support and serve our communities during the fire season this year with that additional staff. This Saturday between 2 and 4, we will be hosting our State of the City event in the community hall here on B Street. Stop by, find out what's happening with city projects and also various volunteer organizations active in the city. Part of this will also be the Taste of Bay City with some really tasty samplings from our various restaurants that we have. Once again, that will be this Saturday from 2 to 4. And then next Tuesday on the 23rd at 9:30, we will have our next event, the Coffee with Mayor and City Manager event. So State of the City this Saturday, 2 o'clock. Coffee with the Mayor and City Manager next Tuesday at 9:30. That's all I have for you this week. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager McCall. Very good. Just in passing here, I did get an email from the sheriff that all his technical equipment seems to be not operable this morning, although we managed to get an email out. So that's why we didn't hear from the sheriff's office. Their parts of their computer system are not working correctly, so I'm sure that will be fixed before long. So we'll go over now to City of Tillamook and City Manager Nathan George. Are you on with us this morning?
Yes, good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. I wanted to give a brief update on the council meeting last night. The council approved our budget committee members for this upcoming fiscal year. Also approved a resolution adopting a supplemental budget for our fiscal year. What that was is after our audit was completed, the auditors were able to realign the actual accounting and funding in our budgets, in our funds, which was a little bit more than we had anticipated. So we're able to allocate all those things to our good uses. Also, the city entered into an interlocal government agreement with the Urban Renewal Agency of Tillamook regarding electric vehicle charging stations. So it's utilizing an ODOT grant, and they had contracted through the chamber to do the grant work, and TURA is actually covering for the first 2 years of actual EV service to allow free charging from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. On these 4 new stations. So there'll be 2 charges over in our existing station. We'll be upgrading, replacing that one, which is on 2nd Street and Ivy. And there'll also be 2 new electric chargers over on 1st Street and Stillwell. So we look forward to those. That project will be completed by end of June, and it's a 5-year grant. So we'll have those for at least 5 years, and we'll reevaluate after that. So if you have any questions, we give us a call. And also those are level 2 chargers. So typically take 5 to 11 hours to charge from a fully depleted battery, but people can charge for a couple hours or however long they want during those hours. And then if at night and after then they'll be charged. So in the police department, also we had all of our normal reports. So if any questions, please contact the city. In the police department, Lieutenant Troxel and Beth Hope from Tides of Change attended the Trauma Informed Response Grant Training. The police department, in partnership with Tides of Change, are reviewing this opportunity further. Our police department is committed to providing the best and up-to-date training to our team. Our school resource officer, Lieutenant Troxel, the Tillamook High School Tillamook High School student, Kylie Burden, attended the Kiwanis Club meeting to discuss the Every 15 Minutes program. This educational program is intended for juniors and seniors at the Tillamook High School. During this program, the dangers of impaired and distracted driving is discussed in the classroom, and a mock traffic crash and followed up the next day with an assembly. School resource officer Lieutenant Troxel attended the monthly major crimes team meeting. This meeting brings together all law enforcement in Tillamook County to discuss and staff criminal cases. The DA's office attend these meetings also. This time is for direct collaboration. It's priceless. We thank everyone who's involved in this. Lieutenant Troxel attended the City Council workshop where goals and visioning discussions occurred. The Tillamook department is excited to see the new product from council. I'll just wanted to talk a little bit more about that. So on this past Saturday, the council met for almost 5 hours, and we had a consultant there, and we worked together to set goals. It was a very good, productive meeting. We had the mayor and the council, and also the department heads were there, all of our internal leadership team. So had a really great discussion. Council came up with some goals. We'll be adopting those by resolution, and it's planned to be on the next meeting in May, and we'll be able to keep building from there. And also we will hopefully next year, or soon to be within the year or two, we'll start looking at working on a strategic plan with the whole community. So we're very excited about that. For the city of Tillamook is thrilled to host this annual Touch a Truck event on Tuesday, May 7th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This unique family-friendly event, held in celebration of Public Service Recognition Week, allows children to explore a variety of public service vehicles up close. We invite you to join us on this event. It will be located on Laurel Avenue between 1st and 3rd Streets in front of the City Hall and the County Courthouse. And also the council approved a proclamation declaring the Public Service Recognition Week, which has been held since 1985 in the United States, and it is the first full week of May. So we're excited to be participating in that for our annual one we've started in 2021. So our street division will be sweeping and filling potholes. They will also be weeding and cleaning up our bioswales in the downtown. Door hanger late fees for delinquent utility bills will be going out today with shutoffs occurring Wednesday. Reminders in 1970, residents have been responsible for maintaining their private lateral lines and fixing them. And residents have up to 1 year to get those problems fixed. If they have any questions, give us a call. And the ordinance violation notices for failed or broken sewer lateral lines are going out slowly with a little bit of time. City is working on this. The goal of compliance is to help our community. City also would like to encourage folks, residents, have the Service Line Warranties of America policy available through HomeServe. That's a really great policy. You can find more information by contacting the city or by going to our website. Also like to thank our project manager, Madeline Orton, and our planning technician, Isaac Van Vasquez, for their excellent service at the city of Tillamook. They are moving back to Kansas and will be sorely missed. They have both made huge contributions to our community and city. And we have several positions available at City of Tillamook, including the Public Works technicians. We have a planning technician, Public Works Streets Supervision Division Supervisor, and we will also be in the near future posting a position for the fire chief, police chief. Fire district is not, fire district is not under the city. The police chief and the project manager / engineer position. Please visit our website or stop by City Hall for an application. Reminder, if you see something, say something, make calling 911, emergencies for dispatch or non-emergencies. And the next regular council meeting will be held Monday, May 6th at 7 p.m. We encourage everyone who's interested in our local government to attend virtually or in person. That's all I have, Commissioner. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nathan. Any questions for Nathan regarding the city of Tillamook? Well, it looks like we've made it through the list this morning, and I want to thank everybody who participated. I'll thank everyone for listening, and also thank you to KTIL for broadcasting. They do this every week, and there are lots of listeners, and we hope to continue as far into the future as we can all see. So again, thanks to everyone, and with that, we will adjourn the meeting at 8:56 a.m.